Good day everyone. Welcome back to my class. After we discussed about demand, let us go now with the other fundamental concept, which is supply. Supply is a fundamental economic concept that refers to the willingness and ability of producers to create goods and services to take them to market. Supply can positively relate to the amount of price or the amount available across a range of price. And to understand more about supply, let us discuss the other expression of supply. First is the law of supply. The law of supply is an economic law states that as the price of good goes up, the quantity supplied also goes up. And most likely, law of supply shows the relationship of price and quantity supplied. There are also other expressions to understand the law of supply. Supply schedule and supply curve. For example, here on the supply schedule for milk, the producer tends to supply more of a certain good at higher prices. Directly as this good becomes more expensive, the producer will tend to supply more to make more profit. It is also best explained the direct relationship of price and quantity supplied through supply curve. Take a look at this supply curve for milk. At point A bottle of milk where the price is 200 pesos per bottle and the firm supplies is 5 bottles of milk. While point B, with 250 pesos per bottle of milk, the firm supplies is 10 bottles of milk. Meaning, the law of supply means that the seller tends to produce more when the price of a good becomes more expensive. This is also driven by the potential increase in profit for the firm. And the upward sloping demand curve represented the direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. And it is called as direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. Same with demand. Supply also have a different determinants. First is technology. Advancement in computer technology has enabled firms to be more profitable by increasing their efficiency and reducing their cost of production. An example of this would be a baker using an automated and industry flour mixer to produce more dough in the same amount of time it takes to mix one manually. Another determinant is producers' expectations. Producers who anticipate a surge in factor prices tend to increase production before the higher input prices become in effect. For example, a ham maker who expects the price of pork to increase in the coming months will use his stock of pork now to create as many hams as possible. The ham will be sold at the higher price level will yield higher returns for the ham maker. And lastly is the government policies. Taxes, subsidies, and other governmental regulations affects the quantity supplied of a goods and services in other way. For example, when train law implemented in the Philippines, most of the producers of tobacco product ultimately decreased quantity supplied due to cost of production. And now, let us discuss the relationship of supply and demand. To understand the relationship of demand and quantity supply, Let us discuss the market equilibrium. Market equilibrium is when the quantity demand and quantity supply meet the same set of price and quantity. And this market equilibrium curve also shows surplus and shortage. Surplus is when the quantity supply is greater than quantity demand. But the surplus can fix itself by lowering the price and meet the equilibrium price and quantity demand and supply. Another is shortage. When the quantity demand is greater than quantity supplied. Same as well. Shortage can fix itself by increasing price to meet the equilibrium price and quantity demand and supply. In reality, it is hard to meet the equilibrium price and quantity demanded and supplied due to rapid change of consumers' trends and season. But analyzing the relationship of demand and supply help the producers to ensure their products and services. Likewise with consumers who need to ensure their desire and satisfy their needs and wants. And supply and demand also help us and determinants in economy's growth and health.